Hi, how are you guys doing this evening? This morning I did a video on this knife here, which is the Shirogorov uh, Quantum uh, R1P exclusive from Recon 1 with Chromax steel on it. Chromax PM steel, and I talked about some of the details and the action and everything. But the thing is, this is a limited edition Shirogorov knife. In other words, they put these out in batches one time, and then they're going to stop. You won't see it ever again. And Recon One actually selected the features that are going to be on this, that are supposed to be on this knife. They chose the best of the best, and I came to the conclusion that this was an amazing, amazing knife. So I told you though this morning that I bought two Shirogorovs. This one is the limited, I guess, the limited edition or special edition. I think it's a special edition Shirogorov. Now we're going to take a look at. I'm going to show you the box first. I don't want to give everything away, but we're going to take a look at the Hati M390 white Techno carbon fiber with multi-row ball bearing system. So that's this knife. And this is the box with the bear on it. The box comes with the cloth, cleaning cloth. Also with the bear on it. Pretty cool. And then you have the certificate of authenticity. And I'm holding it this way. Actually, that's the wrong box. Oh man, what a great thing. Anyway, yeah. It comes with a M390 Techno carbon fiber multi-row ball bearing system. Fantastic. I gave the wrong box. So now we're going to take a look at the actual knife. Are you guys ready? Because you're going to be looking at a knife that's got so much detail on it. And if you guys remember, I told you that Shirogorov is pretty famous for things like details on knives. Well, this one has details up the ass. So this is the knife. Look how gorgeous she looks. All white, Techno white carbon fiber. Just going to give you guys a good glance at it. We have carbon fiber on the show side, white Techno carbon fiber on the show side. And then we've got the frame lock on the opposite side with another inlay on the back part of the knife. There is your pocket clip. The knife comes with M390 steel. There you go. M390. This knife is probably one of the most amazing production knives I've ever held in my hand. This is definitely ranks right up there with the other knife that I did this morning. Shirogorov is completely consistent in everything that they put out. These two knives are pretty much the same in all aspects. Every time we review a knife, there's three things that we're looking at. We're looking at performance, we're looking at ergonomics, and we're looking at aesthetics. Those three things in combination are, I think, what most people rate every knife that comes across their hand. At least every knife enthusiast that I know, that's how they rank the knives. This one is really just absolutely amazing. So let's just get into this one. So again, the knife comes with M390 steel, right, as opposed to the Shirogorov Recon 1 exclusive, which comes with Chromax PM. So as you guys can see, it's a different blade shape. This one has more of like a Persian style with the up-tip swept. This one's more of a drop point blade. A couple subtle differences. There's the bear right there on the blade. On the exclusive or the limited edition one, RP1, they don't have the bear on the blade. It's right here on the handle instead. Just a little. So once again, we have multi-roll ball bearing system, which means that the action is just ridiculous. Now, the thing with the Shirogorov knife, if you notice, I'm flipping it with my thumb, simply because my finger is kind of sore. Now, Shirogorov knives apparently have to be broken in. I didn't realize that. So I was flipping it with my index finger, and it's pretty much sore now. So now I can do it with my thumb for a while until my finger kind of heals from that. So the action, it shoots out really nice, but the action on it is just drop shot. This is really an amazing knife, aesthetically, performance, cutting, everything. Let's take a look at the details, because the details, we were talking about how aesthetics are so important when you're talking about a knife that's priced at this point. This is an $1,100 knife, guys. $1,100. So the aesthetics on this thing are pretty mind-blowing. And you actually have to kind of discover the aesthetics on a knife like this, because you're so blown away by just the feel of the knife, but it takes you some time, while you're honeymooning it, to actually take a good close look at the knife and see how it's built. So let's just do that right now, real quick. So here we go. This is the Hati, and this knife comes in several variations. This is the one that I chose. It comes in black carbon fiber, it comes in red carbon fiber, blue carbon fiber. But the difference between all those knives aesthetically and the white Techno carbon fiber is this. If I turn it to the side, you can see it looks like there's like layers of carbon fiber in there, which on the blue and the red, you don't see this on the side, but on this knife you do. So what's amazing about this knife aesthetically is that the frame lock part of the knife, the show side mimics it exactly in every aspect, and you have to kind of look very closely, but that's exactly what they did with this knife. First of all, if you take a good close look at the knife, on the back, this is kind of interesting, because I didn't even notice this till today. On the back, you're going to see there's a swedge right here going down. You see that? See the swedge going down? Now, we turn it to the opposite side. Believe it or not, it's hard to see it, but if I hold it up to the camera, you can see that same exact swedge on the opposite side going down. Look at that. That is very, very detailed. All the way down. And the thing is, when you're holding the knife, you feel both sides, they're equal. You have this swedgy feel on the side. On the carbon fiber, it meets it exactly at the same exact point. Isn't that weird? Same exact point. The same thing with the frame lock. The only thing that it doesn't mimic, believe it or not, is the relief cut. But if you look a good close look at the knife, this swedge right here on the side here, they did the same thing on this side of the knife. I can feel it with my finger. There it is, right there, right here. It starts up here and goes all the way down to there. All the way down to about there. And if you turn it over to the opposite side, that's the same exact point that it hits just before it hits the pocket clip. Same point exactly. I just thought that was really interesting that they did that they actually took the time to mimic the frame lock side to match the show side of the knife, because this is all 100% solid carbon fiber, and they put the carbon fiber on there to reduce the weight of the knife. The pivot is really huge. It's to hold it's my opinion that it's there to hold the multi-roll ball bearing system that's put into the knife. Again, it's kind of hard for me to describe, but if you could picture a caged uh, ball bearing, like if you could picture like a circle, and then inside the circle there's like a bunch of ball bearings randomly placed in there, triple times, to give you this amazing drop shut action, and the blade shoots out really nice. One thing I like about this knife is that if you listen, you hear that swoosh. I don't hear that on any other knife, either custom or any other, high end knife that I've ever encountered. Do I hear that? But I hear it on a Shirogorov knife. And what's odd is that these both knives make the same exact sound. So it's not like this knife here is singled out. No, I think that's like a signature thing. It's kind of like, how do I describe this? It's like they're telling you this is how tolerant the knife is. You can hear it. I'll do it again. That swoosh. You hear that swoosh? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. The pocket clip. Once again, I've never seen a pocket clip like this. It's just beautifully sculpted, and if you notice, the carbon fiber inlay. This is what I thought was kind of interesting. I don't even know why they did this, but this carbon fiber inlay on the frame lock side of the knife, it continues. You don't see it at this angle, but if I turn the knife over, look, you can see there's some more carbon fiber underneath the pocket clip. Not sure why they did that. I probably would have wanted to have that be seen, but the only way you're going to see that is if you remove the pocket clip. Another thing that's interesting about this knife is that the pocket clip, if you notice on a lot of knives, the pocket clip sometimes will act as an over travel stop. They'll actually have it sit right over the frame lock to prevent the knife from, when you disengage it, they're trying to prevent the knife from going too much into that direction so you don't bend it. But in this case, they didn't do that. They actually have the pocket clip not resting over the frame lock, but just pretty much resting on this part of where the inlay is, on this part of the knife. So you're saying so it looks like there's no over travel stop on this knife, but actually there is. That's what the lock bar insert is for. Do you see the lock bar insert in there? That's what it prevents it from traveling out, from going too much into this direction when you disengage the blade. The jimping is really interesting on this knife. I've never seen jimping like this, where it's this far apart. It's pretty comfortable, but I don't know if that was like an aesthetic. I'm assuming that's an aesthetic choice. The odd thing is that it actually does work pretty good if you're going to be doing some hard use on it. And as beautiful as this knife looks, that's the other thing too, aesthetically. As beautiful as this knife looks, I don't have a problem using this as a hard user. You know what I mean? Based on the way it looks. You see, it's got this regular gray finish. They didn't mirror it. They didn't mirror polish it, or they didn't give it some kind of fancy finish on there. They just did this gray finish. So they want you to use their knife. The sharpening on it looks absolutely amazing. Yeah. And that's just a fantastic looking blade shape. It's just it's not really quite a regular drop point. Actually, it looks pretty much as close to a drop point, but the thing is, it goes up to this point here, and that's where it loses it, because if you look from right about here, it looks like a drop point, but then when you take your finger away and you see the point, it looks like it's kind of modified in a way. So just spectacular. They really overdid it with the details on this knife. You're going to see some serious CNC machining detail on this knife. Let's take a look at some of these details. The relief cut. All right, take a look at this. I don't even know if you can see it in camera, but do you see these little teeny tiny fine milled lines in there? I don't know if you can see that, but they're right If I put my camera too close, my phone too close, you won't be able to see it. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but there's these really super fine lines on the right by where the relief cut is, and it continues on over to this part of the knife where there's this sort of cut just before you get to the pocket clip. It's there also, and then they also put it on the pocket clip. These very fine milled, detailed lines. That, plus the fact that the pocket clip is overly sculpted in a way I've never seen. You know, got a whole bunch of swedges up in here, and then there's another swedge here, and then it cut across. I mean, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Plus the carbon fiber. I mean, they really overdid it with the aesthetics on this thing. The carbon fiber looks, really pretty. Look at that. It kind of sheens in all the black spots. You can see like kind of breaking up, like there's like a little sort of like shiny things that are in there. And then of course there's the white part, which, looks like snow. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful looking knife overall. The ergonomics on this just feel fantastic. There's no hot spots on it. None. Okay, so let me go get some paper real quick. Just want to see how this knife cuts. Oh my God. Oh my God. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so some size comparisons. What does this knife size-wise compare to? Let's start with some knives you guys might know or be familiar with. How about the ZT-0562? So the blade on this knife is 3.75 inches. Whereas the ZT-0562, which I got anodized by Knife Modders, by the way, if you guys are interested to know how I got that done. This was originally the stone-washed gray titanium finish, and I had them do this on it. I kind of liked it, the blue and the gold. I thought it was fantastic. So it's 3.5 for this. That's 3.75. And then how about we do the same with the... how about the Benchmade Anthem? That's 3.5. Here it is up against the large Sebenza 21. The Sebenza 21 is... boy, that's dirty. I've been using that quite a bit. The Sebenza 21 is 3.6 inches. See what I'm saying? So there you go. This is, yeah. Yeah, so this is 3.5, that's 3.6, 3.75. Here it is up against the Umnumzon. Same thing, 3.6. How about the one I just got recently? This one I absolutely love. The Wee Knives. I know some my mind just went blank. Guscacini knife. This is the Integral. I can't believe I can't remember the name of this knife. If somebody can remember the name, also my mind just went blank. So take this out of the way. I don't know why I took that out. So there's the integral. It's, yeah, see, these two knives are right about the same size. Why can't I remember the name of this knife? I don't know. And then the Sebenza 21. So you can see how small the Sebenza 21 is. And then finally, the Spyderco Sage, which is a medium-sized knife. So yeah, I mean it's a pretty big knife, but here's the thing about this blade. I don't know why, but this knife and the Recon 1 exclusive RP Quantum RP1, which is this knife, they're both the same blade length, but for whatever reason, to me they feel like 3.5-inch blades. They don't feel like they're as big as they actually are. Maybe it is because of the way they built the knife aesthetically. The fact that both knives are fairly, fairly slim going this way. There's not a lot of extra bulk on the handles to make it give you that feeling, which is probably why it feels like it's a 3.5-inch knife. Yeah, but the action on these knives are just absolutely insane. I mean, you're never gonna... In theory, action, I mean, a lot of people say that knives shouldn't bolt shut. And this one doesn't actually fall shut, but it actually stops right about there. And then you tip it, and then it falls down. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. You kind of wonder... is there some sort of math that's involved? Because obviously gravity takes the place of it, but that will allow a knife to just have that controlled drop shut action. So, I mean, yeah, this is definitely a knife that is just absolutely excellent in every way, shape, and form. The fact that they mimicked the frame lock to a T on the show side is impressive enough. The fact that the action on this thing is ridiculous. The cutting ability, the performance of this knife, you can't go wrong with Shirogorov. They're all exactly the same in tolerances, in performance, in ergonomics. They all hit a 10. It's just a 10. The centering, you don't even worry about it. Look at that. That's dead. It's dead on this knife. And it's dead on this one. You don't even worry about the damn centering on these knives. They're just perfect. Comparing these two knives, obviously this being a full Shirogorov piece with all the over-the-top details that you actually take a whole week to take a look at before you even realize it. This one, same thing. They've got some details, but they didn't go overboard like they did with this one. In fact, again, because this knife is $725 and this one is $1,100, they had to keep the price point down. So what they did was they gave you the best of the best. They made sure that you experienced the multi-roll ball bearing system on both. On this knife, obviously, you get... on this knife, obviously, they go all the way over with the aesthetics, with the mimicking of the frame lock on the show side. You get a whole slab of carbon fiber. You got this sort of layered look on the side here with the carbon fiber. It's exactly the same size, thickness, width, everything as the frame lock on this knife. And they give you a full backspacer, right? So here's where they took away. You don't get the full backspacer on this. You just get a standoff. And as a result, they have to put these 3 bars here to protect the knife. It's just, and that, I guess that help to bring the costs down, I assume. And that plus the fact that there's no backspacer and they just give you one barrel spacer right here. That's about it. Uh, so I guess the price of the backspacer is what really gives it, and all the details that are on this knife, which they didn't have to take the time to put on this one. That brought the price down. So 725 for this, and then this one is 1100. Um, so you could literally have the same experience with a knife that doesn't cost as much as the Hati. You know what I mean? You could experience. You may miss a lot of the details and things like that, and you're probably gonna have to put up with this, the 3 bars on there. I mean, but take a look at the pocket clips, right? They give you the pocket clips too. Look how sculpted the pocket clips are. You've got milling on this pocket clip here, right here. They give you some milling on there. On this pocket clip, they put the milling right here on the swedge. And the milling is overdone. I mean, it is really finite. So finite, you need a magnifying glass to see that. The frame lock is actually kind of stone-washed looking, so that's kind of perfect. That's great about Gurov, as compared to, say, this one's all nice and shiny, kind of. You know what I mean? And the inlays look very, very like elegant, gentlemanly, so on and so forth. And yet you kind of, even though you can tell I've been using it, you kind of hesitate to use the knife because it's such a good looking knife. They don't. You kind of have to be a little bit. Your feelings towards it are I don't want to use it, kind of thing. And it's just interesting. That they did that. But yet, on the Shirogorov knife, which costs even more than the Sebenza 21, large Sebenza 21, they make sure that they give it an elegant look. They give it all the details you like. They give it a lot of eye candy, but it's eye candy that's rustic looking that you wouldn't mind using it. I mean, look at that finish on there. It's a regular gray finished blade. You know what I mean? They didn't make it all shiny. They didn't mirror it up. They just made sure that you buy this knife, you want you to use it as well as it is. So they were able to do that. And that's what's in your mindset when you look at this knife. It's like, yeah, it's $11, but crap, I'm going to use the hell out of it. It gives you that feeling. And the carbon fiber, of course, gives it, it makes the knife weigh an ounce less. It definitely feels a lot less. It definitely feels a lot less than the Quantum. This definitely feels a little bit heavier. Like the Quantum this morning when I told you that it was like on the inside of the knife, it was kind of skeletonized to reduce weight. Same thing with the Hot. They did the same thing on locks. I see that. See where all the skeletonized, it's kind of these little cutouts in there that keeps the weight down on the knife. So they did the same thing there. It's just a beautiful, beautiful knife. So in performance, in ergonomics, I mean, this knife feels really nice in my hand. I could do this for like 3 hours cutting with this knife, and I won't have any pain at all. You don't even feel the pocket clip. Actually, the pocket clip, it's almost like they designed the pocket clip to fit this soft part of your hand. You almost don't even feel it. They really know how to. They knocked it out of the ballpark with the Hati. They also knocked it out of the ballpark with this knife because this knife is also it's completely shaped differently, but they still got the ergonomics down perfect, which proves that you can change up how a knife feels in your hand. This one has more of a 2-finger choil, right? Because you can see that my 2 fingers kind of fit right there, nice and neat. This one, what they did here was it's sort of a single choil knife, but right where this thing, what they did here is in this area, they made sure that your middle finger and your ringer finger has something comfortable to grip. I mean, if you were to hold on to it super tight, it wouldn't hurt you. And the pocket clip is it's just fine. It's fine. They also made sure that if you ever had to take this knife apart, maybe to clean it, I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, you could use a regular standard screwdriver. I wouldn't. You could do the same thing with this barrel, this sort of screw right over here. Use a regular standard. I wouldn't do that, but you could do it. I'm surprised they actually didn't give you a tool to open it up. But I mean, the knife is already constructed perfectly. There's no reason for you to take it apart. The only thing about Shirogorov's, both of these knives, I wanted to stress this point. You have to keep in mind these knives have incredibly tight tolerances that just flipping them for a while, your hand will hurt trying to flip it. In fact, I broke this one in pretty easily. I mean, yeah, my finger hurts, but I can still flip it open with my index finger. But I got to admit, for this knife, I even though I can do it, I can only do it every once in a while. Most of the time, I find myself doing it with the thumb, temporarily, of course, because I know this is going to break in. It's going to break in. So, there you have it, the Shirogorov Hati Techno Carbon Fiber, white Techno Carbon Fiber knife from Shirogorov Knives. All the damn detail on there. You also have a lanyard ring right there. So that's it for this video. I also wanted to make sure you guys are aware of the new website that's out there. It should be your #1 source for all things, all knives, the knifeenthusiast.com. You can buy knives there. You can sell knives there. You can find any information you want on customs and production knives at the knifeenthusiast.com. They are looking to become the #1 source for knives. Knifeenthusiast.com, check them out. That's it for this video. I've got some more stuff coming. I got some wallets that are coming. Actually, they already came. I'm sorry. I've got wallets that I'll be reviewing for you guys tomorrow from the Lost Dutchman. It's not a new wallet, but it's one that I wanted to check out, so I'll be sharing that with you. I also got a flashlight that I'll be reviewing as well. So I got some stuff coming up. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment if you have any questions. It would have been nice to have some viewers today, but I mean, you never know. I do this because it's fun, and I like to share. So any questions that you guys might have, please leave your comments. I would love to answer them. I always try and answer them. I'm very happy to have people that even pay attention to my channel. And before I let you guys go, I just wanted to have you guys take a look at the, yeah, here it is. This is the certificate of authenticity for the Hati. Apparently, I switched the boxes on them, which was kind of a weird thing. But you get the certificate of authenticity. They give you a cloth with it, and the box is just cardboard. You know what I mean? But, as awesome as this knife is, you really don't care too much about the packaging. And I think that's the whole point of Shirogorov knives. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad to have you share this knife with you. I've got more knives coming. I'm also going to do another video tomorrow. I'm going to compare Shirogorov with Chris Reeve knives. I just felt that they have some things that I wanted to point out about both companies, because they do have some things in common, and we'll be talking about that also tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a fantastic evening.